So you might have come across this video because you might have, I don't know, had an experience about, having a psychic ability, precognition, clairvoyance, remote viewing. You might have heard of these things. Maybe you haven't. Maybe it's your first time. I just want to share with you that, listen, bro, on your semen retention journey, many people don't talk about this, and I decided that I wanted to really hone on these benefits because semen retention benefits are often talked about. Okay, there's obviously, we have the female attraction, we have the ability to hold eye contact, your muscles feel firmer, you need less sleep, you feel more energetic, you feel more lively, your voice is deeper, your voice penetrates, it booms, it vibrates, or all of these types of things. You feel more patient, more calm, all of these semen retention benefits. But I really wanted to hone in on the psychic side of things and the psychic abilities which unlock when you are on semen retention, because this is just as true, and it probably precedes the truth of everything else. Hence the female attraction, males. People look at you differently when you're on semen retention. They stare at you like bro, like, who's this guy? Like, who does this guy think he is? It's of course. Who do I think I am? Of course, I'm retaining my life force, man. Of course you're gonna be looking at me. I have more life than most people that you come across. Actually, quite a cool experience a few weeks back. I had at my job, I had this guy come in, and they were collecting. It's these Uber drivers that collect orders, and he told me, like, there's something different about you. You have something, and I don't think he was referring to my logic. He was referring to my heart. Now the thing is, most people that you're gonna meet is per se not gonna be like you or like me. I'm not saying that to put us on a pedestal in any type of way. I'm saying this because, bro, you're retaining your life force. You have more life. You have more essence. You have more vibration. Let's stick to the topic here, okay? Because I can go on a tangent with these things. When it comes to semen retention benefits and these esoteric types of things, all right? You feel the frequency of people, all right? You can pick up on the vibration and the frequency. You can pick up on the vibratory state of others and their frequency, their level of frequency, where they are, on example, on the map of consciousness. Like, you could probably pinpoint it very accurately because you can see it in the eyes, you can see it in their body language. You become extremely good at pattern recognition when you are on semen retention. When you are transmuting your sexual energy, you're gonna become good at noticing patterns. Sometimes it will even drive you crazy. I don't know, maybe not for you, for me it did. It drove me a little bit crazy sometimes, okay? But this thing about these semen retention benefits, or these psychic abilities, which are benefits of your semen retention journey or retaining a life force journey, on that journey these things will come out. You will experience them, okay? And it's okay, it's normal, it's natural, it's alright. It's actually a good thing because you're coming back to who you truly are. You're coming back to your true abilities, okay? I want to share with you these experiences that I've had over many, many years since I've been young. Now, when I was young, I had these experiences. I shared this in a previous video, but I'll share this again for the sake of repetition. I experienced out-of-body experiences from young, okay? Then over the years, I finally got more into these concepts about, which you learn in spirituality as a whole and all these things. And for a long time, I thought that, I believed, I knew I was different, all right? I knew I was very different. I was a virgin up until 21 years old. The first person I slept with is now currently my wife. So I've only had one partner. So I don't have any sexual and energetic sexual ties to anyone. The only thing I have ties to is all the lifetimes that I've lived. I've been on earth for a very long time. I've come back time and time again. This knowledge already came when I was young. As soon as I can remember my consciousness, because I can remember memories from 2 years old, 3 years old. I can recall the house I lived in. I remember the supernatural experiences I had as a small child that were not imaginary because they were real. They were out-of-body experiences as I grew up. And I never really talked about it because I just knew within me that people probably weren't ready for this. People weren't ready to hear these things yet, all right? I knew I was still a child, and as a child, you know that adults don't really take you seriously because children live in their imaginations, right? So I understood this dynamic that, okay, I'm different. I was born again, and I kind of had this feeling, this inner gnosis that, oh, okay, I'm back in this lifetime, and to come back to these powers, I've experienced it on various levels. Even when I was younger, I had experience of telekinesis, where an object was far away and I attracted to me. Now, I do not know how I did that at the time. I was just jumping on the bed, and there was a can of spray, and I got it. And the thing is, right, as a kid, you naturally retain your life force. I mean, you don't really have an outlet to release your life force per se, as you do when you become, you know, a young male. You know, as young males, you obviously, as you get older, you get more hormones and you become more, you know, sexually active, and you release your life force. But as a kid, you don't. So you just are still that pure form of life, and I still am, because as an adult male of 25 years old, I don't have many. I have one sexual connection, that's with my wife, my current wife, my first and only partner that I've slept with. I've only slept with one person. So my connection to life and imagination and joy and is very strong. I still have that. It's very, very strong. Of course, I've also traumatized myself through my ego, you know, consuming adult material that I shouldn't have, or, you know, consuming things I shouldn't have, and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing to myself at that time. But all obviously aided to the journey, and I'm so grateful for those. But when you're retaining your seed, when you're retaining your semen, you are not, and you stop also watching adult material, and also you naturally veer away from having too many overstimulating sexual thoughts as well. Obviously you'll have them, but they don't trigger you to a point of, oh, I need to go watch adult material, or oh, I need to go release my semen right now because this experience happened to me. Obviously that's normal, you know, you are still a biological person, male, that stuff's normal, but it comes to a level of control. So now you're retaining your seed, you're naturally retaining more life force, and with more life force comes more like that state of when you were a kid. You know, people always say like, oh, I just want to feel like how I felt when I was a kid, in amazement and in wonder and with added imagination, because the imagination adds a layer of vibrancy to life and a layer of joy, because you don't take things as seriously. So we struggle to get to that point because maybe for a long time you haven't been retaining your seed, or you've been so overindulgent in yourself that, you know, you leave yourself feeling empty and nothing feels the same anymore. And it's almost like the world loses its color, but the world doesn't lose its color. It's that your perception of the world has changed because of how traumatized you've made yourself. And by traumatized, I mean that the content we consume, when we overconsume, I even get it now. I get brain fog. That's because I've traumatized myself. I have trauma to my dopamine receptors. Have had, you know, when you have like when you hit your head, like blunt force trauma or something like that. It's not the trauma of, oh, what happened to me when I was young. It's like, no, it's the trauma of causing an injury. You know what I mean? So like, you're actually causing an injury to your nervous system, to your brain, to your dopamine receptors, to your, you know, your body's ability to produce serotonin and testosterone and your androgen receptors and all of these things. So when we step back from doing those, we're coming back to our normal state, which is our spirit self, and we are then in awe of the world. We are then amazed by the world. So naturally, your psychic abilities are going to unlock. Your psychic abilities are going to activate. Everyone has the same amount of abilities to the same strength of the same degree. It just depends which path you just want to walk down. But honestly, it doesn't take 10 years of meditation on the Himalayan mountains to channel your energy. It does not. I'm here to tell you, it does not. To change your life does not. To manifest does not. You don't need to think that, oh, it's going to take you years and years. No, You can do that right now. If you just remove that filter from yourself, you could do it right now. You could tap into your remote viewing right now, your ESP, your clairvoyance, your precognition. You could tap into those right here, right now. It doesn't have to take you weeks and weeks and weeks of practice. The practice is just so you can remove the layer that keeps preventing you from reaching that point. That's what the practice is for. But we come back into our imagination, we come back into our playfulness, we come back into our joy and to our inner peace, and understanding that we have this true self, this inner being that exists, that precedes all, the frequency that precedes all. And when we move closer to that point, we then experience the world differently. We experience the interconnectedness of everything. And that is unlocked on your Semen Retention journey. Now, I want to tell you, the benefits of Semen Retention are great. The psychic abilities of Semen Retention are amazing. But what I want to say is that it's all happening for you to get back to you. You are not transforming into anything that you're not. Whatever you experience on Semen Retention is bringing you back to yourself. When you start going into these practices, when you start living this type of life, where you're retaining your life force, you're living in imagination, adding the vibrancy and color to your own world. I'm telling you, it's not anything that's adding to you. It's just removing that which does not belong, that which has never belonged, and that which isn't even really you. So we're just removing all the layers. Semen Retention is a process of removing the layers, of removing every piece of gunk and trauma and pain that you've stacked upon yourself, and allowing yourself through sexual energy to come back to you. It's one pathway to do it, and that's what happens. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Yo, if you want to, I drop a lot of content on my X as well. A lot of these same videos are there, but also I do posts on there. I share some interesting stuff on there. So please, have a follow there. Also check out my newsletter down below. You can sign up. I also have my free and paid digital products like ebooks and those kinds of things. So if you're interested, check it down below. Have a good time, and obviously just sending you pow, all that frequency on your Semen Retention journey. Take care.